always listen to Hard Talk. And if they don't listen now, they would be looking at the replay later on. I think the video has just gone again. Yeah, they would be looking at the program a little later on. But, okay, Chris is saying he touched down safe. Yeah, he had a touchdown safe. That's PM, man. Oh, dear, man. Yeah, somebody saying no sound.
Yes, security, Chris.
Yeah, yeah, Chris, play security up there, see if MI5 ain't go with you. Yeah, anyway, Scotland Yard going with you or some kind of thing. Yeah, play jamming up. Scotland Yard go deal with you. Yeah, Scotland Yard, right, yes. The people in my yard, yeah, Scotland Yard, right. Yeah, but the yard's supposed to be in the land, so that's, anyway, right. So the Prime Minister, he's out there at the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. It's usually a very fruitful meeting for Grenada. I know that Prime Minister always has good interactions with the other Commonwealth heads of government. I know one of the things that came out of one of those meetings a couple of years ago would have been that geothermal exploration that took place in Grenada. Prime Minister would have met the then Prime Minister of New Zealand. I believe that's Prime Minister John Key. He's no longer the Prime Minister there, but Prime Minister John Key. And he was able, through that Commonwealth meeting, to secure funding for a geothermal research here in Grenada. So they had a team that was funded by the New Zealand government that went around different parts of Grenada looking for areas that you can find like hot springs and so on, or you could put in a borehole in a particular area to use the heat from the earth to create the electricity instead of having to focus on getting oil and so on coming into the country to do that sort of thing, which is much more clean, much more safe, and you're running out of that. Anytime you run out of that, the earth done anyway, so it makes sense. Yeah, anytime you run out of the heat from the earth done.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so that's the thing. All right, Hannah. Right, Hannah, good. Right, you move off on me this morning. You move on to the right person.
Hannah, good morning, and thank you for the compliment.
Nice. Hey, Chris, don't worry about all of that. Just worry about the fact that Terry and Hannah go deal with you. Right, I think he say call, I think message me and let me know what you do with this thing, so I'm going to know what to do.
And to all of you on the link, all of you giving the chat, and so good morning to all of you, and I really wish you all the best for the rest of it. Hey, Chris, I hope it's sunshine in London, and not snow.
Yeah, organize the thing properly over there, brother. Yeah, talk to whoever you have to talk to, do what you have to do,
And make sure the thing well in order, because we're not accepting mediocrity,
Yeah.
Right?
But here's what though. We've just had the post-cabinet press briefing, first one, and quite a bit of information was put out there. We have new PSs in the various ministries. I'm trying to get the list. I'm hoping I get the list in a little while, because I don't want to go making any mistakes in calling out the listing. So that's me. You know how we operate here, right? So I don't want to go calling out a list and making any mistakes on that list. The one mistake I'm sure I cannot make is that Finley Jeffrey, the scholar, is now the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Education. Yeah. Educator. Yeah, man. That's his thing self.
Perfect.
So he is
That's
now
a wonderful choice.
Yeah.
But PS acting until he's been confirmed.
Yeah, so he's there within the Ministry of Education.
Wonderful choice, why? Because of his
extremely qualified as well. I think he's doing his masters, or he's done his masters. He's done his masters. Yeah.
Yeah. He has been a teacher for a number of years, right? And he has been in touch with what is going on within the teaching profession. So, better to fall into a position like that.
From a teacher and also a person who has now worked within the Ministry of Education for a little while. So he's gotten an idea of how the structure of the Ministry of Education is and what needs to be fixed, what needs to be done. So I think it's a wonderful addition to put there together with the Honorable Emlyn Pear as the Minister. I think she has a very strong permanent secretary in her corner. And as well, we have the Honorable Pamela Moses within that ministry. Although I think she has a separate PS for her department.
Most likely.
But again, Kish, link us up now. I want to get you.
Send us a thing, We don't want to call name and then tell us this and that,
Yeah, I'm messaging her. Yeah, we live on air.
Yeah, another one two others I know we can be sure on the foreign minister, the permanent secretary in foreign ministry. All right, it's still he remains the same. That's what's his name? Help me out, bro. Gentleman
in foreign ministry,
foreign affairs.
I thought foreign affairs was Ruth Rouse.
No, she's in legal.
Legal affairs.
Yes.
Ruth Rouse. You see, that's the thing. I don't want to go and say the wrong thing. I know that Kevin Andal is in youth and culture.
Yes.
Yeah, I know he's in youth and culture. Kevin Andal. I know he's there.
I know Miss Arlene Buckmeyer Outram is in tourism and civil aviation.
Yeah. I know Miss Clark is in she's in works.
Yes.
Yeah, so she's in that department there. So I know that. But we want the thing. Yes. We want it. Yeah, and the thing is, yes, Scholar's wife is also the principal of the St. Andrew Anglican Secondary School. Yes, she is. And also holds a master's degree in education as well.
They both. Yeah, both. So SAS doing things.
I think the man just had the nickname Scholar for so.
Scholar. Yeah, definitely. You know, who again? But there's a few that we need to get the official thing from, because we don't want to continue to say who are there and it might not be. All right. Also to permanent secretary in the Ministry of Labor is Miss Lima Frederick.
You could go ahead and start calling out the rest of the thing. I waited on the list.
I make no mistakes so far.
I want to see the list, man.
Yeah, the list is very important because there's a few that need to.
Also, quite a bit of information there in relation to the oil and gas exploration. I think Minister Bowen was very clear in relation to that. What I think we will do is extract his piece that he has done on oil and gas and replay it on the program again, because a lot of false information is out there. For instance, when it comes to negotiating the sale of your oil and gas. Now, I would have spent my early years in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, through the years of Texaco and Petrotrin and all of these companies and so on. And one of the things that you know, even if you're following the oil industry, the petroleum industry worldwide, you realize that by and large, with the exception of the Middle East, and even in the Middle East, they've created statutory bodies to run the oil and gas industry. It's not just the government running oil and gas. No. They have statutory bodies. And then according to which area, like within one of the Middle Eastern countries, you may have British Petroleum in one area. You may have Texaco in another area. You may have BP. Well, you have different people in different areas. They are the ones that sell the oil and gas, not the government of the country. They are the ones. They would have paid to do the exploration, so they paid. They do the exploration and so on. Or they get into arrangement according to the country to do the exploration. And they do the exploration. If they find, then it is their responsibility to find a market for it. And when they find a market of it, then they keep a percentage, and the country where they're extracting it from receive a percentage as well. But all of that has to be negotiated to the point of sale and so. So it's not the government of Grenada's responsibility to sell oil and gas. If you have a oil and gas, fine. They're not the ones to sign an agreement with the oil company down there in Trinidad. Yeah, it is the company's responsibility. Yeah, because the company is the one who would have shelled out hundreds of millions of dollars to be able to locate this oil and gas, and then after they locate it, to be able to test it to see if it's a viable option. Also, news there that there are also about 3 other wells being drilled right now, and no information coming back yet as to whether they are viable. Sometimes you get, sometimes you don't get. Sometimes you hit a vein there and you get a lot of oil, you get gas, you get everything. Sometimes you drill, and then when you realize you're going to end up in China, you stop drilling because there are nothing there. You understand? So they are being using their seismic technology and all of that, and they are pretty certain that they will have some more finds. Finding it is one thing, it being usable is another thing. Cuba has oil, you know.
Yeah.
But it's can't use it. You can't use it. The amount of money you're going to spend to refine it, it doesn't make reasonable sense to go through the process. sometimes the sulfuric content is so high. If there's a lot of sulfur in the oil, it makes it all that more difficult to refine, and as such, most refineries won't even touch it.
Yeah.
I'm also hearing an argument by some people about putting an oil refinery here in Grenada. Believe me, you don't want that.
Why? You don't
Believe
want
you don't want that.
There's enough. You can go to Cuba. You can go.
No, not even Cuba. You have Venezuela and Trinidad right there. Take my word for it. You ain't want that. I've grown up next to an oil refinery. You ain't want that. Yeah? Because the process itself will destroy the environment. The process of refining the oil destroys the environment in the area where that oil refinery is located, which means that you would have to select an area in Grenada and decide that you no longer want that area to be inhabitable. You want to destroy the groundwater in that area, that you really don't want that area to be usable again anytime in the foreseeable future. It's like if a nuclear bomb dropped there. Because believe me, once they start that process there, that's the end of that. The wildlife, it's the end of everything in that area.
And we ain't giving up nothing on Grenada.
Yeah. So it is better, it is much better to pipe that, because it's not like you're going to take the natural gas and so on, you have a ship come and take the natural gas. The way they usually deal with that is they have an oil well, one of the rigs there, and they would have a pipeline that runs down to Trinidad or runs down to wherever, that point, and the fuel is taken there and they refine it and so on, and it's sold from that location. So more than likely it would be a situation like they're putting in a pipeline from that location running down, which is why we continue to say the University of Trinidad and Tobago is offering courses in the petroleum industry right now. Some of you listening may be missing out on a great opportunity, and I've been in contact with one of my friends whose husband works at the University of Trinidad and Tobago, and I believe that they are offering online courses. So it may be a case, according to the course that you're doing, it may be a case that you do not have to physically leave Grenada and go down to Trinidad to do the course, because other than that you have to spend 2-3 years in Trinidad doing the course. It may be you may have the possibility of doing the majority of that course online and get your credits and so on towards gaining a degree, whether it's as an engineer in the field or in the management of the petroleum industry and so on. Because again, what we don't want happening as we move into this new area, what we don't want happening is that we start extracting and so on, and you have oil rigs outside of Grenada, and all the people working there from Trinidad, Texas, Guyana, Barbados, and all other Mexico, the British people and so on, or even people coming from the Middle East, are the ones that end up doing the jobs on those platforms that are worth $8,000 and $20,000. It should be Grenadians. So we have to place ourselves into the position. Sometimes you can't even just wait on government. Sometimes it's best you go, you apply, you get accepted, and then you come and talk to government. You say, listen, we know this area is needed. Kindly help me, even if it's partially, to pay for that particular area. And if all you ain't doing it, I feel I might go and do it. I'm a science subject, so now I could go and do that. Yeah? So they need to look at that particular aspect of it as well. As Grenadians, apply for these things. And it's not just through the University of Trinidad and Tobago. I know of that one, but I also know that there are several other universities that offer online courses, or if you've decided to make the sacrifice and leave to be able to go to wherever it is in Texas or wherever and do that particular course in the petroleum industry. So again, there are several courses available. I know of for a fact through the University of Trinidad and Tobago, the deadline has passed for most of them, but you could still speak to them. They wouldn't say no, because the courses themselves start towards the end of August, September. So they ain't gonna say no. They're getting 10, 20 people coming out of Grenada to do a course.
Especially around this time.
Yeah, they wouldn't say no.
With the potential, you know.
They wouldn't say no.
Yeah.
So you need to contact them. Also, they've also had, for those of you that may be worrying, I don't have the full qualifications to do it. They can accept you as a mature student. So in other words, you may have some of the subjects, but not all of the subjects that are required for that particular area. but you've worked in a similar field for a period of time. So you have qualification by experience. You've worked in a particular field. They may be willing, according to the questions they ask and how you respond and so on, they may be willing to accept you as a mature candidate for that particular area. And I'm saying this because I really don't want 10 years from now or 15 years from now, when Grenada gets fully into the extraction process and all of the different things, and you have the companies operating out of Grenada and you have the side companies, because if it's being done there, you may have a company that's based on land here in Grenada that provides the drilling equipment. You may have a company here in Grenada that provides the servicing of the equipment that's used out on the drilling platform. You may have a company that provides a helicopter service to bring persons from the platform to Grenada, from Grenada to the platform, and that sort of thing. So you have different services that can be offered that are high paying, that a lot of you out there, you might be doing a job right now and you think that's the best job, but when you get into the next one, now you realize there's a lot of money to be made.
Lots.
Yeah, so let's do it properly. Yeah, let's do it properly.
Properly. Let's take our time, be patient, and let's get it done. Educate ourselves, especially you young people out there. I mean, this is a potential, you know, for a lot of you. Get involved, seek the information. Don't just take it from myself and Sheldon. Yeah, we're giving you there, but you go out there and look. Get interested, right? And be a part of Grenada's development in the next 5-10 years to come.
What I think I'll do on my page and the Hard Talk page later is post the links to the University of Trinidad and Tobago and the courses that are being offered. So those of you that believe that you are suited or would like to get involved in that particular area, you can do so. And remember, this is not just about people who are in their teens and their 20s.
No.
You could be in your 30s, your 40s, even your 50s, and decide that you want to get involved in it. And the best time to do it, there's no better time to do it than now. If we had done it before, that would even be better. But the best time to do that is right now. Once you get into that particular area, remember the amount of years of experience that you have going to count for something. We want the Grenadians to be the managers. We want the Grenadians to be the ones that take the high-paying jobs. Yeah,
operators, a full thing. The persons who actually hands-on, right, on these things. That is what we want. We don't want to be workers in our own country when it comes to our natural resources. Right? We want
let's say not just workers, second-class workers.
Second-class workers. Yeah. We want to be there in control from the top coming right down. And if it's possible, we can have all the jobs in the oil and gas industry in our country, then so be it. It's much better for us. It will not happen, but we strive to that. You know?
So we need to ensure that we place ourselves in the position to benefit from what is being done now and in the future. We can't be taken by surprise. In fact, remember when Prime Minister was on this program, he did say that one of the main things that will be done by this government before the end of the year, because I was saying, so Prime Minister, next year we're going to start sending, say no, this year we have to start sending out people to go and train in that industry. So remember there are different aspects there, because people like we partner down in town, but he does fly plane, he don't fly helicopter. Same principles, he should be able to fly helicopter. What's his name again? Steve. Yeah. Or pilot, or pilot boy, Franklin.
Yeah.
Pilot might decide he want to go and fly helicopter, he want to fly plane again, he want to fly helicopter.
Yeah, son. So that's what I experience that they have good help.
Yeah. So folks, the phone number 440-7377. So outside of that particular industry, and so the ministers, they spoke about the housing projects. We've seen quite a bit of work being done on the housing projects. Actually seeing the foundation of some of the houses at one of the sites, one or two of the sites and so on. Yeah, so we know that is taking place right now.
Well, as a matter of fact, on 3 of the sites, work has
but
already
a difference
begun.
this time, the last time around, the government of Grenada had the responsibility of doing the roads and the infrastructure,
and the water,
which the NDC government didn't do.
Didn't do at all.
Right. But this time around, the Chinese didn't take any chance. They say we're doing it too.
It's part of the agreement. They're doing everything.
You see Delma again. Delma go and she talk with them thing.
Yeah, she don't
convince
like
them people and them.
Yeah, she don't like the headache about thing. Get it done. You're doing something, do it all.
Yeah.
Yes, do it all. And knowing her, she articulates and she knows what she wants, as a line minister. And I mean, over the last 5 years, right in her previous stint as social development minister, she learned, right, for over the years, and now she has a hand on basically everything that needs to be done within a ministry, right? And to put the right people in place to get it done.
And Keisha ain't sending the list first.
Yeah,
Keisha, somebody up in Prime Minister's office go and knock on Keisha door and tell Keisha, say, send the list for me, please.
Keisha want me to ask.
Only have 19 minutes again.
She want me to ask. Keisha, my dear, could you please send us the list? Don't I bet you get that list in 2 minutes?
You see that? I know. Keisha, WhatsApp it. Email it. The thing is the reason that we're not getting it yet is that we know that she is extremely busy. Yeah, nice. Yeah, but you may see yeah. Oh, folks, Grenada Invitationals. It's
Saturday
weekend, Saturday
the 21st.
And Chris, yes, Saturday. Don't try to tell me about that individual. Me, I don't bother it. Yeah, let's talk about invitational, Chris. Grenada Invitation, the whole of Grenada here in that you're doing it, man.
Yeah.
Grenada Invitational this weekend, this Saturday.
Yeah.
All right, so folks, you can get your tickets at the Venus, Colombian Emeralds at the mall. You can get it at Grenadian Optical, Maxi Bola in Grenville, or online at GoToFed. And we know that there are several plane loads of you coming down for the Grenada Invitational as well.
Grenada takes the spotlight this weekend.
Yeah, get your tickets and get your tickets now.
Kirani James.
Man, hey, I was listening to GBN. I was listening to GBN this morning, and NDC suddenly arrive again. Yeah, they're back.
They did?
They show up, man. Yeah, they show up. After about 2 weeks or 3 weeks missing, they show up.
Who was it? Who opened the bowling?
Philip Alexander.
Oh, Philip Alexander, yes.
He opened the bowling, man.
Yes.
Philip say he live in Grenville, and Grenville dead.
Ooh.
It's not end of month. Grenada, you usually have an end of month, or like this week you're kind of going like middle of the month kind of time. End of month and middle of the month is when you just see a lot of people going about and shopping and that kind of thing. And it's after Easter. I mean, duh.
Perhaps he's talking about around Budggrove, around the Bamboo Bar or some way. You know,
he wouldn't even talk about the fact and say that look, the meat market open. You know that the abattoir is in operation. Yeah, Minister Bowen spoke about that this morning though. Yeah. He spoke about the fact that the meat market is operation. They have the refrigerated trucks. They're in the temporary location.
Yeah, I do every Friday. Right, and perhaps Saturday mornings, you see it right there in St. George's, opposite the gas station. The refrigerated truck is there with all the slaughtered meat from Maribo. Well, there, so the persons who selling will come, take out, cut up thing, and you sell.
That's a thing.
Professional, right there. You know.
No more you have to chase a rat and say, move.
No.
I'm trying to kill a pig here, rat. Move.
And people buy in comfort. I mean, it's temporary, right? But it's
until they redo the building.
And they are already there. They're not far from completing, They
started doing the building already?
Oh, yeah.
I've been passing in town. But you see my eyes just be on the road.
Yeah,
I doesn't gaze.
Yeah, the part where they selling, where they sell the meat and so, that is almost completed.
The roof. What about the roof?
Well, yeah, the whole entire place. But
they starting to do the roof, or they do the roof already?
Well, I'm not sure if they finish it as yet, but some work has been done.
Not if they fix the roof. They put a roof?
Well, they have to put a roof. Yeah, all upstairs. They did some work, definitely. Right? You know who would be the best person to give us an update on that? And I wish he's listening. Our friend right there. No, man.
Yeah.
From oh God, I always forgetting his name, the singer there.
Zingo?
No, right there in from River Road.
Tommy is a maintenance
man.
Yeah. Tommy?
Tommy.
Tommy,
Tommy the maintenance
Tommy,
man.
we know you're listening, Tommy,
Yeah,
so don't come and play like
Tommy
you're
the
not listening
maintenance
and
man.
things. So
Give
Tommy,
us an
link us.
update. Yeah, give us an update as to.
Link us.
Yeah, let us know what's going on.
Yeah.
And you could tell us how bad a whipping they get up in Dabo too, if you want.
Well, you told me alone now, man. Creeper.
Creeper.
Yeah, but no, it's wonderful that we finally gotten to this stage. That after all the what do you call it? Does call it the kerfuffle? Yeah, after all the kerfuffle that was done by the NDC.
Or the confuffleness.
The kerfuffle that was done by the NDC in relation to the abattoir, the mess up and the mix up that they did, that had to be straightened out by the new National Party government, that it's at the stage now that it's operational, that you have the trucks and so on transporting. Because I was extremely worried. One of the things that worried me is that you have a tourist, they've come to Grenada, they're visiting, and they're staying at a hotel, and then they come to town and they see the meat market, and in their mind, that's where the meat that they're going to eat at the hotel is coming from.
Exactly.
And then when they look at the state at the meat market, it's like, hell no. I'm going to be a vegetarian for the time that I'm here. I ain't going and eat nothing from there. Or they see the fish market, they say, oh, okay, right, I could understand. Fish market, nice, neat, decent, well taken care of. So. Right, yeah. But when they look across and they see the meat market, they say, me ain't eating from there. You understand?
No flesh at all.
So we've gotten to the stage now that we have a proper facility for the slaughter of animals, if there's such a thing as humane slaughter, but the slaughter of animals in the proper manner.
Don't use the word humane.
Yeah, let me don't go into that. Yeah, especially when I was showing you earlier there. I know you want to see meat for a while. But yeah, so Junior George, how you doing, boy?
Oh God, Junior, man. You want to do that?
Junior George. I know you'll never want to hear the words "get the Vasera bucket" in a hurry again.
Are you playing man? You're throwing up.
Najuma. And Junior would never like to hear the words, "Could you please reach the Vasera bucket?" He don't want to hear that.
He could be like, "What?"
He don't want to hear that. If you only hear the word Vasera. Okay?
Oh my God! But yeah, you got your belly, bro.
But yeah, so that project is now complete, and we're seeing the temporary location. Temporary location looking good enough. Don't be surprised that somebody, after you're done with temporary location, don't be surprised somebody want to take it. Might be a good idea to put it after you finish the temporary location, you fix the other one there. I think we go take the temporary location somewhere in the south of the island.
Yes.
We'll take it down in the south, make it easier for the hotels, and so instead of having to come in town and block up traffic.
That's an excellent idea.
Yeah. Instead of having to come in town and block up traffic and travel this long distance to the meet, we go take it down in Granans, in our area, Granans.
A nice area
down
that's
on the stretch,
comfortable for everybody.
Somewhere down there.
Yeah.
So all the hotels could just come there and get it in one time.
Yeah, fresh meat.
Yeah. We'll put aside for fish and we'll put aside for that. You don't have to travel to town and getting again right there. And we will make a delivery service. We will put a freezer truck, they go deliver for you.
But you know, that is a business I could get into, you know.
Why right now, petroleum industry, meat industry, these are Rasta, you can't do
that. Is nothing.
Fish industry, I mean,
you
do the thing. You want to show your meter again?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Get it for Sarah Bucket.
Oh, before we continue, Sheldon, some idea I wanted to share. Mr. Kurt Sitahal, I hope you're listening, boss. And it's not, I don't want it to be too confrontational, but just an idea. And for the PAN Association, please hear me out. What do you think of, for a year, take Panorama, right, and bring it to St. Andrews? A matter of fact, Progress Park.
All right.
I say that for a number of reasons. One, PAN over the years has been basically on a low. St. Andrews, one steel band could be something of a boost, right, for more steel bands to be in St. Andrews, right? Again, we're talking about participation of the crowd. There are a number of persons in St. Andrews, the biggest parish, who has never had the opportunity to even go to Panorama, right, and see Panorama. Now, if you look at the bigger bands that are there, there's about 8 or 9 bands, right? 4 or 5 of the bigger bands in St. Andrews. Now, if they have to travel to St. Andrews or Progress Park, they are coming with at least, 100 strong in terms of players and persons who want to see Panorama. Right? So you're talking about a couple hundred, perhaps 2,000-3,000 people coming from St. Andrews, from St. George's alone. Then you have St. John's, right, with 2 or more steel bands, right? St. Patrick's people. No, the idea is just something that to think about, you know. Revitalize Pan in terms of the location and see what it entails. You will be surprised.
Yeah, I think it's an idea that could be considered, but must be a decision that weighs heavily on the Pan Association as the final decision.
They must be the one. Yes.
So they must make the final decision as to whether it is more suitable to take the Panorama out of St. George and place it in another parish. So make it an activity for another parish. Yeah, it's an idea.
It's an idea.
It's an idea. It's something that could be looked at.
What is what,
I know at one point in time, we had Soca Monarch in St. Andrew for a few years.
Yeah.
And those were some of the biggest Soca Monarchs that I went to in Simoon. And that was during the period of time, during 97, 98, 99, that the Grenada National Stadium was being built. Yeah, and for those of you traveling on the West Coast, I ain't find I see all the putting up all the picture and showing off and saying, well, look, the thing named Karani James. The Karani James Athletics Stadium. I ain't find
boast about it. That. Talk about it. So as.
Wait, not time. You must be proud. Time nearly run out on us already. There, you know. What? I'm 4407377.
347-329.
I think we
3101.
Right, yeah, because time nearly done on us day.
Almost done. 8 minutes again.
Yeah. Nice. Right, folks, 4407377. But outside of that, so we've seen a lot of things have been happening over the past few weeks especially. And we're seeing an increase in activity when it comes to the construction field.
Oh, yes.
There are hardly guys that, if they're serious, you have people that are just not interested in looking for a job. Let's just get to that point and understand that there are just some people that are not interested. At
all. So we're establishing that.
Yeah. But there are also guys who will be looking for a job, and it's not difficult for a person who is in the field of construction to find a job right now. It's not difficult at all.
As a matter of fact, there are a number of guys in St. Andrews who basically refusing to go on a particular site, and take preference to go on another one because of the options that they have.
Yeah.
And that is good. When workers have options, and so that means the country is beginning to, to be buoyant and deliver. And the construction, our country at this point in time is second to none.
Yeah, and we also know that we have the construction industry, we have the tourist industries also getting a nice boost and continues to get a nice boost. I saw an article recently of Trinidad being one of the areas that we're having a lot of people coming into the country from.
Stay over visitors in particular.
Yeah, they're coming because they find Grenada to be a safer destination. Yeah. So we're seeing a lot of that taking place. And I think it augurs well for, again, I must always mention the Honorable Alexandra Otway Noel and the work that she did in the ministry as the Minister of Tourism to get that pure Grenada branding in and locked down for Grenada. She did an excellent job in getting that particular area locked down for the people of Grenada, that pure Grenada branding that has been able to be assimilated throughout the world right now and increase the number of visitors to Grenada. We've seen an increase of 15% in the number of visitors from Trinidad. I'm waiting on the figures from the Tourism Authority in relation to the first quarter of the year and what we've been seeing in tourism, but I expect it to be an increase in visitors as well. And also, together with our new Minister of Foreign Affairs, looking at those new markets, how can we have those high-rolling visitors coming out of China, those guys that have a couple $1 million to spend and would like to hang out in the Caribbean for a while.
1% of them.
Yeah, we need much.
1%.
All we need is 0.2% of the population, 0.02% of the population, 0.002% 5% of the population of China.
Yeah, of the high rollers,
yeah,
basically.
to come through. Yeah, with just a few of the high rollers and so to visit Grenada as a destination.
Are we good?
Also in India, in Africa, especially in the African continent. Remember, you have several multi-billionaires on the continent of Africa and so on. How can we encourage trade? How can we encourage engagement with those countries? And remember, the Honorable Peter David spoke specifically about Africa as a place that we need to engage. Because I realize
Virgin territories.
Quick to go and have embassy in all them European countries.
But we forget in Africa.
We quick to go North America. But you see, when it comes to the Caribbean and Africa, we ain't going there. We ain't setting up embassies in those places. I think we do have a facility in Trinidad.
Yeah.
We do have in Cuba.
Yeah.
Right? But I think that's about it for the region. I don't think we have any more in the region.
And we need to do better than that. As a people, the Caribbean people, we need to have more intertangling with each other.
I see on the bargain too, Vincentian is Grenadian, Grenadian is Vincentian. Yeah. So, I mean, maybe we don't need an embassy there because always the same thing anyway.
For real.
You think them Vinci and them just cross the border and go in Carriacou and Lime when it's a party and all kind of thing. Them characters just go in St. Vincent and Lime when they're a party. Yeah, and them.
Brian, I'm seeing a comment here, but I don't think that's an issue when it comes to transportation. Look at it as another part of the economic venture. Right, because more money will be coming to St. Andrews. It's a new venture, right? It's a trial run. Remember, we said that about Intercall when Intercall had to be brought to Progress Park, right? It will be difficult, the transportation, to transfer all those teams income. No. We have to do things that will help boost. Good morning and welcome.
Oh, yes, good morning to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Morning.
And good morning to your co-host.
Morning.
Now, you strike a good note there. Why are we not setting up embassies and missions in the African countries? I call it the ACP countries, Africa, Caribbean, and Pacific. Well, I think we lost the Pacific already to the West. So we could say Africa and the Caribbean. But what is the problem? I think the biggest problem there in attempting this, as you listen to the news, is the behavior of the African leaders. And so it might just be a gamble for our diplomats going into this far African countries where the safety might be compromised. But you raise a very, very important, because you see, the population of Africa, and I've been preaching this for quite a number of years, we should have airlines from the Caribbean flying into Africa direct. We should have ships sailing into Africa direct, because whatever we produce in the Caribbean, in these Caribbean countries, can be swallowed up by Africa as it is to trade. So if we can establish this, I believe our farmers in the region, will no longer have a problem in terms of getting rid of the produce. But my concern is the behavior, as I listen to the news, the African leaders. And should you gamble putting your diplomats in these countries where the safety might be compromised?
All right.
Okay,
thank you.
All right, my friend.
What I have to say to that is simply this. There are very stable democracies on the African continent. I think that the Western perception that has been forced into the heads of most of us here in the Western Hemisphere in relation to what takes place in Africa is very unfortunate. You have stable democracies like Ghana, for instance, is a stable democracy. And you have various other countries that are pretty stable right now.
Kenya,
some may have had their
Nigeria.
issues in the past before, like for instance Rwanda. Rwanda is a pretty stable country right
very
now.
Stable.
And Zambia. So you have
Ethiopia.
countries, they're stable countries.
South Africa.
They have their internal
Namibia.
minor issues, but they are stable countries. They've had in the 1960s and previously and 70s, some
like
of them
Angola,
into the 80s.
Right?
Yeah. I have friends from Angola, I have friends from Namibia, I have friends from Angola, I have friends from Nigeria. So I have friends on the African continent. Tanzania, again, a very stable democracy.
And if you go to the north, you have Morocco. You have, some of
I have some friends in the ruling party in Botswana, for instance, another country. So it would augur well for us to make those connections outside of just Nigeria, which is the most populous country in Africa, but outside of Nigeria, to have that connection with a lot of other countries in the motherland, and to make that connection between Grenada and those countries. It will open new markets for trade.
And especially the Western African countries.
It will open new markets for trade and various things. Before we go any further, before I get cussed out by Carriacou people, let me say
my God,
right now, congratulations. See, that's why I say record all your school song.
Yeah, record, send it.
Go by extracts. You, students of the Hillsborough Secondary School, go by extracts and record your school song. Put music to it, record it.
Send it for us.
Yeah.
Because that won't be the last time we gonna be playing, want to be playing your school song.
When all they went into call, I want to play
exactly.
Too. Right. So, hey, I have a message here from the Honorable Kindra Mathurin Stewart. She says it was indeed a great honor for her to visit the 2018 SGU Knowledge Bowl champions.
Carriacou.
Secondary School. Yeah, she went there this morning to offer congratulatory remarks in recognizing their milestone achievement.
I had motorcade, all kind of thing in Carriacou.
All kind of thing up there. Yeah, man. Roll rice maybe pass and all.
Yes.
This achievement does not only speak volume to the excellence of students of Hillsborough Secondary School, but also the entire islands of Carriacou and Petit Martinique ranking in the state of Grenada. So she's extremely proud of the boys and girls of Carriacou and Petit Martinique who continue to represent their islands with distinction.
Oh, yes.
And she looks forward to working closely together with every one of them in building a shining future for the beautiful islands of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. So folks, Hillsborough Secondary School.
Yeah. By 1 point.
They come down with a belt and they beat everybody down.
Everybody get it.
And they take the trophy and they go up on the Osprey. No, they didn't go up on the Osprey, you know. The trophy actually go up on the plane.
Fly up.
Yeah, it go up on the plane.
About 5 or 6 of them.
So the trophy go up on the plane.
Yep.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a special charter.
Well, hey, whether it's special, however, they earned it. They deserve it.
The trophy come up on the plane.
Yes.
Yeah. So the students, we would like to say a special congratulations from those of us here at Hard Talk to the students of the Hillsborough Secondary School. Hey, we have a call online.
Congratulations.
Let me take the call.
Good morning.
Hi.
Morning, ma'am.
I'll tell you what, a few years ago, I thought I was going nuts. I made a suggestion. Why are we depending on England and New York airports to get visitors and so across here? Why don't we have something good straight from Africa and these other places?
Yeah, I think
it's nice. And I was told to make, like, wherever in this world you're going to ever hear that happening. Well, I totally support that caller who made that suggestion, the trading and the tourism, sort of thing come. And I wish I could see it happen in my day.
Yeah.
Good morning.
All right, thank you very much. All right. Yeah, because that's one, I think, the air bridge. Because, man, it ain't easy when you had to go certain places and you had to take... I'm sorry what Prime Minister just had to go through, huh? And to those of you who've made the trip before, you know what it does to your body. You know what it does to your sleep cycle, everything. When you have to leave Grenada to cross over the Atlantic...
that time zone.
To go to the UK. So sometimes you're leaving in the daytime, you're flying into the nighttime, back into the daytime, and it messes you up totally. So sometimes, in my case, I know Prime Minister may you stayed by now, but in my case, I used to need a few hours. I must get a few. The moment I hit the hotel, I have to take a few hours sleep. I must get a little bit of sleep to recycle myself, get myself back into the cycle, and so on. And it tires you out, especially after you finish. When you go there, remember, it's not rest. You might get that sleep, but that's the only sleep you get. And then by the time you finish doing what you're doing there, the return journey. Again. So your body is tired. It's not an easy journey. So Prime Minister, we go leave off the race on Saturday for you. You had to go and run against on Saturday.
Because straight from the airport, straight into the
that might have been the only chance he had to win too. Not Prime Minister, the next guy.
You go win by default.
Hello?
Good morning.
Is this Citizen?
This is Hard Talk.
Hard Talk, yeah.
Yes.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Yeah, we're not going to Sheldon and
You're live. You're live right now. You're live on radio. Everyone is hearing you. Go right ahead.
Okay. But I hear myself on the radio.
You will not hear yourself on the radio, so you're live. Go right ahead.
Just speak on the phone.
Yeah, morning.
Yes, morning, sir.
Yeah.
Speak to us, sir. Go
Go ahead.
ahead. You're live.
Okay. Concerning the trading, is it viable for air flight? Is it viable to have connection flight from Grenada directly to Africa?
It
And
would.
what about scholarships? Maybe we could engage them in scholarships for Grenadians going to study in Africa.
Yeah, because
That's
we.
one of two suggestions.
Okay, thank
Wonderful.
you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Now, what I could say, it would be viable if you have a significant enough number of people wanting to visit Africa, or a significant number of people from the African continent wanting to visit Grenada. Not only Grenada,
But
the
Caribbean,
region.
yeah.
Because Grenada could be the point of departure and the point of arrival
Yep.
for flights coming out.
Yep.
And
Or the in transit point.
especially as Pedro is making that, the Honorable Peter David
Yes, yes. This
is
Pedro
making
thing,
that.
leave the Pedro.
Yeah, we will leave the Pedro
Yeah,
alone for
leave
now.
Pedro alone
The
for
Honorable
now.
Peter David. So as long as he is making that intercession now on behalf of Grenada, we are at the forefront.
Yeah.
Remember, we were at the forefront of doing the reconnection with Cuba,
Yeah.
and now we could be at the forefront of making that connection with Africa,
yeah.
to having that trip.
And look at
we
where we are at
already-
the point.
But outside of that, we already have students studying in Africa.
Oh, yeah. And
Morocco is part of Africa.
and African
And we do have
students
students.
studying here.
Yeah. and
Lots
we
of
have
them in SGU.
We have a lot of African students at SGU. In fact,
Lots.
one night at Garfield's Bar, they had a function there for Nigerian independence and so on. I didn't realize it had so much Nigerian students.
In Grenada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Lots of
was
them.
Prince this and that son and king
You
that and that
understand?
daughter and all kind of thing was there.
Princess
Yeah, it's all kind of thing. So they had a lot of them there, and it would be interesting to probably get some more students. And not only there, they've actually had students from Uganda. They have students from there was this country that is in a serious state of war as well in Africa, and there were students from there that are here
Congo.
at the university at this point. And I think they probably have students from the Congo and so on as well. The Sudan. So they had
yes,
students from Sudan who are also at the university here. So there already is that tentative connection. We need to have more of those connections taking place. We have another caller online. Even though we passed with time.
Good afternoon and welcome.
Hey, good afternoon, brothers. How you guys
Hey, how
doing?
you doing, my
Be
friend?
Something I wanted to explain for me is a little bit. The open sea, I say open sea, the open sky policy that the government signed up with the United States with. I think the media didn't really bring it too much. I just find it's something important and I think the nation should really know about because.
I'm not clear on it myself, so I'll find out.
Oh,
We will get some information.
I want to know
Sure.
a little bit about that a little bit more.
Yeah, no problem, my brother.
Good, good.
All right,
Have a
my
nice
friend.
day.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah,
Wow.
so I'll find out some more about that open skies policy. I don't want to go and say a wrong thing.
Yes.
And next thing you know, somebody
Yeah.
take it and beat me over my
Even
head.
if we have to invite the Minister of Civil Aviation and Tourism,
Yeah.
to give a perhaps 5-10 minutes talk on what the whole thing is all about, and I'm sure she
Yeah.
will be willing to share that
Yeah,
information.
97.5, we know Oleada run out on us. So
Yes.
if Oleada run out, Oleada run out. We will talk a little while. We're on 89.5 still. We're 92.9 in Carriacou, and we're on 94.9 in Brooklyn. But you know 97.5 might have to run out on us. But we're still online and so on as well for a little while. But yeah, it is very important for that connection. And also, you've heard Prime Minister raise this issue on several occasions, even to the annoyance of some of the other Caribbean leaders who are benefiting from the situation. But the cost of transportation within the region, we're talking about Africa, but the cost of transportation within the region is too high.
So why within inter-island
yeah.
connections?
Because for the cost sometimes, according to the time of year and the type of ticket that you buy, sometimes the cost of a ticket between Grenada and Trinidad, you could get a ticket for the same price to reach to Miami.
Yeah,
and it is
$1,000.
unfair to Caribbean people.
That's not.
And then
not cute.
to consider that when we have to go and do our visa application,
In
we have to go to
Barbados.
Barbados. And the amount of money we have to spend. So even intra-regionally, there is an issue when it comes to travel. Prime Minister has raised the issue several times. Yeah? And it's an issue that we all, not just Grenada, but we must confront on a regional level. I remember there was one airline that was trying to set up in the Caribbean, and certain Caribbean countries just refused to give them permission. Red Air or Red Jet or some sort of thing was trying to set up, and there were certain countries that did everything in their power
To block them.
to block it. Yeah. And I'm seeing a lot of congratulations starting come out to the Hillsborough Secondary School. Hillsborough Secondary School. Check extracts. I sure there might even be Happy Hill. Hillsborough Secondary School students. Yeah, so there might even be not X, you can't be an X, you're just a old boy or old girl, whatever, right? So they might even do it for all for free. But check them. Yeah. Get your school song recorded, and we keep saying that to all the schools, whether you're SAS, McDonald College, J.W. Fletcher Memorial, West Hall Secondary School, Convent
Grenville. Okay.
Get your school song recorded. Those of you in St. Andrew, go and check Paul.
Yeah,
go and check Mount Zion.
And
get your school song recorded, man.
In Carriacou, Senator Nolan Cox. I'm calling you, sir. Ensure.
He's in Carriacou, yeah.
Well, I know, but
you forget her?
No, I know he did here, but
Mr. Minister, what's the matter with Devon?
I'm charging him with the responsibility.
Yeah, he will get it done because it's culture as well.
Of course.
Yeah, so we need the schools. Get your school song recorded, man. Yeah, it's important that you get a record. The same way GBSS has it, Anglican High School has it. Get your school song recorded.
Yes.
All right.
And we are proud to play all of them.
Yeah, we want to play all of them. But you all in, so
give us a chance, no man. Every time it's GBSS. I mean, come on. I mean, winning everything, but
that is free. You know what I'm saying? Anytime that GBSS start up, watch program done. Right, that's all the time we have for today. It's been wonderful being here with you, and folks, we love each and every one of you. We'll be back here, God's willing, tomorrow with more hard talk just for you. In whatever you say, whatever you do it safe and secure, because you might have to bring the Visera bucket. Yeah. But do it safe and secure, because we want to be speaking to and with you.
And not about you. No bucket.
That's all the time.
Junior, keep your bucket for yourself.
Yo, expert. You do in 30 minutes. You could be on one of our 45 black and white sand beaches, or perched atop a lush mountainside admiring our stunning coastline, or slicing the Caribbean Sea on a traditionally built sloop, or adventuring off the beaten path, or hanging out with our underwater sculptures, or do nothing at all. Whatever you choose, an amazing vacation is only 30 minutes away in Grenada. Visit www.puregrenada.com.
There's so much going on with the NNP, and we're just getting started. From candidate launches to contests, events, and breaking news, be in the know. Get notified first about big events and announcements. Plus, we're here to listen. We want to hear from you. Leave us a comment, tell us what's working and what's not. Like what we're doing? Let us know. The NNP is working for you. Interact with us on Facebook. Come on, Grenada, get connected. Like us on Facebook /NNP Grenada and keep moving.